magical seed planting for Earth Day, which is tomorrow. We have a lot of, I guess, green holidays going on right now. Hey, Susie. So we had a 420 yesterday to all those who partake. Yesterday was kind of a blur for me, so I can't recap too much. Did get to hang out with our neighbor that came over. We were, playing some beats in the forest and just, having ourselves a foresty awesome time yesterday. So, playing with our herbs yesterday, as we will be playing with our herbs again today. So tomorrow is Earth Day, as we mentioned, and that's why we are going to be doing some magical seed planting. Although I also planted some seeds on the first day of spring. We didn't have quite the setup to start earlier, like I know that we're supposed to, kind of weeks before our last frost, which our last frost is, I believe, the 9th of May here, just kind of depending on our zone. We have zone 7, baby. So yeah, we so it didn't really get to that. It's a little cold sometimes in the home, and I knew that that wouldn't be good for germination. Didn't really quite find a way yet to put them in their own little like biome, like a little sweat lab for them. So we're doing it today, and we did it on spring. We'll have a better setup like next winter when we start winter stuff. So anyway, any chance, I mean, to play in the soil, really, I mean, whatevs. Seeds are pretty much cheap, so um and oh yeah, so speaking of other green holidays coming up, we have the Festival of the Greenman. So that will be on Tuesday of this upcoming week, and that kind of coincides with, again, the spring festivities and honoring the forest and vegetation and abundance and everything all around us. And then we have the Festival of Spring coming up for all of my pagan friends out there. Yeah, and then May 1st, Beltane. So yeah, I mean, things are moving and a grooving, shaking and a baking, and it's a beautiful day out today, so let's plant some seeds. And then afterwards, we will do actually, you know what? Let's do our weekly reading. Let's plant our seeds. If we want to do super chats and super stickers, we'll do that afterwards. And then we'll have our channel guided meditation. All right, that is a plan. Okay. Let's see. Let's look here. Do, do, do. Peg says hello to everyone. Susie says we'll be sitting outside, so not in the chat much, but listening. Enjoy the outdoors. Aw, thank you, Susie. John says, hey, peeps. Hello, hello. And our girl, Heather, Silver Star Priestess, is here from her long hiatus off of social media, working on her healing. So proud of her. And hey, Lisa saying hello to John and Heather. Lily is here. She says, Grand Rising. Hope all is well with everything. I love your earrings. So thank you. I felt it appropriate to get our little floor on, because I will be planting a few like wildflower seeds, because I do want to bring in the pollinators. So we do get butterflies and bumblebees and hummingbirds and things like that. But any excuse to bring in more to help out the pollination would be great. I was going to boil up some hummingbird nectar so I could put their feeders up yesterday, because normally I guess the hummingbirds don't really come till late April, early May, but they're here now. They buzzed the tower, aka my head, a couple of days ago. So I was going to do it yesterday, but then I got high. So anyway, some things were put on the back burner yesterday. All right. So okay, first, before we dive into our weekly reading, I do want to say a quick shout out to all of my subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys so much. Everybody who comes into the chat, everybody who participates, and even my lurkers. Love you. And this time we're diving into disease. Like, what is the purpose, the reasons behind it, the energy behind disease. So I thought that would be interesting. So James and I are going to dive into that, and that will be out tomorrow for anybody who's interested. But anyway, I want to say a thank you to all of my YouTube members as well. Lisa, Kayla, love you guys. My moderators, you see them with the wrenches of power. Thank you to my moderators. Also to my patrons, Myrna and Karen, Lisa, Heather, Lily, or sorry, Lily, Dana, Jamie, Kayla, Syrian, Brandy, Jason, and Brian. Thank you guys all so much. Mwah! Okay, let's see. Oh, Sukhbir is here. Hello, hello. Silver Star says, it's so good to see every single one of you. I've missed you all so much. Marcus says, good evening. Beautiful hat and good sunflower earrings. Thank you, thank you. I like my hat because it's got like the ivy and plants, and it's just perfect for today and what we're doing. Peg says, that is so cool. Match. You know, I was like pulling out my big hats to wear because it's gonna be a sunny day and I'm gonna be in direct sunlight. And I was like, holy shit, it matches. I like when it match. It's like sometimes when your bra matches your undies, you're like, heck yeah, I feel like pretty bougie today. um, Everybody's saying hello. Silver Star said 420 was the toots. Oh man, I agree. It was something. Yeah, yeah. Neighbor brought over some strong stuff, and I'm on another planet, just so everybody knows. So, like, I guess I'm not one for conversation. I try to have conversation, but every time there's a thought to say something, the conversation has left me behind by then, and then I'm struggling to pick up another thing to talk about. But by then, everybody's gone in the conversation. And so, yeah, that's my mind on certain green things. Lily said, Susie, I was muted 2 weeks ago. Did I do something? Oh, that could have been YouTube. Sometimes that does that. And I don't know why. Oh, that must be our neighbor. He must be going on into town. Everybody's saying hello to Marcus. Susie says, glad you were here, Lily. Susie says, well, it suits you. Thank you. John said, just did DMT breathing yesterday. Ooh, very nice. How did that go? Oh, yeah. And Peg also wondering, how did that go? Russ says, wow, Tara looks like royalty today. Thank you. KDS worker, hello, hello. Okay, so here we go. I have a few decks here for this gardeny, springy time that we are in, but I also wanted to show you some decks that I like to utilize during the TV show that we're watching. You guys may have heard of The Walking Dead. Well, I'm very late to the party, so like many years. Like I had never seen a single episode of Walking Dead because like I didn't have television really. So James has a Netflix account. So we've started watching The Walking Dead starting with season 1. And so right now we are, I think, either at the beginning or the middle of season 4. So I think there's 11 seasons total. Anyway, I'm loving The Walking Dead. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge, like, love zombie type movies, you know. I mean, I don't mind the Romero movies and things like that, but um, I do love, like, adventure, and I do love suspense and seeing people work together. Sometimes watching kind of end of the world kind of things, but more in a unique way, I guess. And the fact that, the main character, Rick, gets to run around with his, is it Colt 357? So then that makes me want to shoot my 357 and my other revolvers and feel like I'm in the zombie apocalypse. And so, so anyway, I'm loving it. So I have a few decks for that, and I'm borrowing James's Omega Land, but also we have the Tarot Z. So when you put these together, it totally just has the vibes of The Walking Dead. So for those of you that are fans, I don't know, maybe you've already paired these decks together. I also have the Zombie Tarot, so sometimes I'll pair these together. And I showed my uncle the other day because he's a huge fan. And I was like, look, I was like, I have decks that match. Speaking of matching.
Don't forget, ammo is scarce.
Oh, yes. You're also going to need a samurai sword in the zombie apocalypse for just like Michonne. So, so yes, your revolvers, your rifles, your knives, and your samurai swords. All right. Let's see. Let's go back in here. Sapir says, nice goggles. Thank you, thank you. Lily says, love The Walking Dead. OMG, my favorite. She's like, you're in for a treat. Oh, I am loving the treats so far. So I know according to James, who's read the comics and he's, watched all The Walking Dead, he's like, there's more to come, more interesting things to come. So I'm excited. Susie says that her mom loves that show. First few seasons. Peg says, I even love how love Negan and Lucille. Susie says, Tara, have you seen Lost? Ever a good show back in the day? Yes, I have seen all of it from the very first episode that it came out because they got me with the previews. I was like, is this gonna be like kind of fantasy, but also stranded on an island survival, something maybe paranormal going on? Like that's up my alley. Let's see. Lily says, yes, love it. Zombie vibes. Kathy, hello. Says, yes, Walking Dead is the best. Lily said, beautiful. Michonne is one of my favorite characters. It says, you will cry as well. No spoilers. Okay. um, so let's see. Russ says, oh, hello to everyone. Silver Star and Susie and Lisa, the Mod Squad, and Peg. And then John said, sorry, no work. Okay. Alrighty. So just scrolling through the comments. All right. So let's go ahead and show you those spring decks for our weekly reading. If you guys want to bust out your decks as well, go ahead and bust them out. If you're going to do some good old fashioned channeling, bringing those downloads in, or you're just going to access that intuition, speaking through the higher self, you could do that. You could work with your pendulums, your runes, all things. We welcome all things. So just let us know what you're working with. We love it when you post your beautiful messages. That's why I always encourage people who rewatch this live chat to check out the chat portion of the live chat, because there's so much going on there, so many beautiful messages and wonderful insight from our friends that join us each and every Sunday. All right. So we have our Enchanted Blossoms Oracle. I hadn't busted this deck out in a while, but this is by Carla Morrow. So we're going to utilize this. We have the Oracle of Mystical Moments, and we have the Flower Reading Cards by Sherilyn Darcy. And of course, I can't be anywhere without my own deck, Wally's World. So Wally's World here as well. Okie dokie. Let's see. Maybe we will pair this. Actually, I have one more ridiculous size deck, and that is the Giant Weight Smith. So, or Rider Weight. So maybe we'll bust that out too for funsies. Okay, I would like to use Wally's World for an overview of the theme for this week, and then we'll fill in any blurry areas with our Flower Oracle. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Kathy says, hola to everyone. Missed ya. Lily saying hello to the mod squad. And Lily says, love him as well. Peg John says, I'm not where I previously was with the DMT breathing. It's a little mental uplift and body high right now. Last time I was doing it regularly, I could hold my breath for 4.5 minutes. Wow. That is amazing. And it's interesting you're talking about breath because yesterday I was feeling very in my watery energy. I grew up by the beach and, I was a surfer and everything. So it was like I was really missing like the movements of surfing, like the subtle flow and fluid movements. Like you can't really like jerk the surfboard around, without flipping up in the air and all these things happening. So I was wearing my balsa wood necklace, which I used to wear every time I went out surfing, and I was just like total surfer vibes yesterday. And I was thinking about my breath and how I used to be pretty good at holding my breath for long periods of time, and you were talking about being 4.5 minutes. I was nowhere near there. But it was at least long enough, for a wave, if it was going to hold you down, to get back up on the other side. But yeah, so then I was thinking about trying to incorporate the breath work that I used to do when I was surfing, and see if I can do that in my meditations, because there was a way that I would breathe when I was paddling out, and kind of a way that I was breathing when I was just, you know, waiting in the lineup, uh, kind of where all the longboarders were, and another type of breathing when you're underwater, and also when you are surfing it in. So yeah, that just brought all that up. So I don't know if any of you guys surf or um, have done, breathing like that, or done DMT breathing like John was talking about. um, because yeah, I do feel that the breath is very, very important. That's why I focus on it every single time when we do our channeled guided meditation. Like that has to be in there, for me. And then, whatever else needs to be worked on is worked on. But yeah, breath, I agree, very, very important. Let's see. Sukhbir says, can you please bring any information for crypto? Named Scotty AI. We could do that with our super chats and super stickers later on. I could definitely pull a card and tap in for you if you'd like. That would be wonderful. Superstar saying hello to everyone. John says, that was pretty trippy. Hello. Yes. Peg was like, wowza, John. Susie said, flower reading cards, love, love, love. Silverstar says, I'm lurking, working. It's bright, have to hide in the shade to see. Lulu said, wow, 4.5 minutes. That's amazing. John says, I'm sure it felt like more than that when you went under. Definitely. Definitely. John says, I try not to do lung packing. Is that something you used to do for surfing? Yes, like just before you go under. Um, Other surfers would say that they would, I mean, depending on the size of the wave, like if it was a massive wave, like I'm talking big wave surfers, people out at Jaws and Mavericks and things like that, where they would um, either or. I mean, there's Laird Hamilton, who's just like a beast, but he's a big wave surfer. But Laird used to either do lung packing, or sometimes he would go in where he would deplete all oxygen from his lungs, so that way when the roll of the wave pushed down on him, it wouldn't be like knocking the wind out of his lungs. Like he was already like in control. So just kind of holding it in full depletion, going into like anaerobic, and just then coming up, which I couldn't do that, but I would definitely like get it in. Let's see. Hey, Lily is here. Hello, hello. And our friend Patrick. Hey. Lily says, when I was very young, I used to dunk in the bathtub and hold my breath for 2.5 minutes. Not anymore. Lucky if I could do it for a minute. I used to do that too. I used to go into the bathtub and I would be under the water and I would open my eyes. I'd try to see my mom like above the tub. And then my brother and I would go scuba diving in the bathtub together. Um, Everybody's saying hello, skis. Oh, wow. Our friend Patrick says he can hold his breath now for 3 minutes. Woo, you guys are awesome. John says, that's how I try to do my breath work, totally depleted. Wow. You know what? Maybe I will try that. I will try the reverse. Yeah. That would be pretty cool, I think. Some of yoga is done that as well, where you got to do like a full depletion. So very cool. Peg says, scooching over, making room for more peeps. Good to see you all. Keep them coming. Don't forget to share in the love with a thumbs up. Thank you. Patrick says, when I was around 26 years old, I did 5.5 minutes. Dude, were you a swimmer? Because that's amazing. 5.5 minutes. Wow. Lily says, yes, to be young again. All right. Well, those are some amazing insights into all of your wonderful breath work. Let's get some amazing insights into this upcoming week. Oh, Patrick says, yes, he did it for free diving. Nice. Okay, so like I said, I want to use my Wally's World to take a look at the theme of the upcoming week, and then we'll fill in any areas that we need to with the flower reading cards. If you are interested in Wally's World, the link is down below just in case. These are the backs of my cards, got my gilded edging, and all right. So, Wally, what do we have for this upcoming week? Oh my goodness, we are coming to a close already. Just about a week and a half left of this month. I am so excited for Beltane. I am stoked about this weather. I mean, wearing my dresses again, awesome. I found out I was pretty pale under these clothes, so I'm getting my tan back. um, so it's very nice to feel the sun on my legs and my tootsies, my arms. All right. Okay, we have our card. Oh, all right. So this image here was submitted from a good friend of mine and formal vocal teacher, my friend Charmaine. So if you're watching, love you, darling. But anyway, she's a big old star out there at the Met, being singing all over the world, all over the country. You know, been in some really big operas. So she is an alto contralto. I love that woman's voice when she can hit those low notes and like shake the floorboards. It makes a soprano weep, you know. Anyway, so musical nerd stuff. Anyway, so this is taken at the Metropolitan Theater, and this was taken the day that she signed her contract to become a part of the Met. And the opera that they were showing at the time was La Memoire. Um, and so that's why there's all these kind of creepy decorations on the stage as they were kind of setting it up for that. But she says what was interesting is that when her very first opera that she ever went to, the very first opera she ever seen was or saw was La Memoire. And so she thought that that was interesting because she saw that at the Met and that was her first opera. And so when she signed her very first contract there, that exact same opera was playing. And so she said she just like was in a puddle of tears. But anyway, so it's some fun background on there. And for her, that's a sacred space. That was a magical place for her, where it was like a lot of full circle, a lot of following her intuition when other people said that it was pointless, like why continue, like you're never gonna make it, you know. And a lot of those, most of those voices were her own family. And so now they've changed their tune. Um, but anyway, it's I think it's a beautiful story that goes along with it. So okay, let's tap into this one. Mm. Actually, so that is why I shared that story with you guys, because the energy is about coming full circle this week, where there might be themes, people, situations that just kind of pop up again this week after, you know, maybe the last time you saw this person or have been in this situation, or to have this theme It could have been years ago. It could have been like 20 years ago, 5 years ago. It could have been back when you were a kid. But the point being is to have this person, this energy come back around again to see how you will react to it now. How will you deal with it now? Um, and also to show you how your point of view has changed from, we were talking about to be young again. Well, from when we were much younger, when we're in this situation with this person or this theme or whatever it is that's coming up for us individually, being able to see the shift from maybe a little kid's perspective to our adult perspective, from possibly an unconscious perspective to a much more conscious perspective, being able to see much more clearly now the shadow and light in a situation, the lessons that can be learned, both the positive and the negative, being able to see how much we've grown, how many tools we have in our toolkit now. I mean, there might be a situation in which, back in the past, it would have brought us to tears, and not that crying is bad, but I'm saying more in a state of feeling unable to continue on, or that this is, the worst thing that ever happened to me. But seeing it now from the eyes that you have now, all the knowledge that you have now, connecting to your higher selves, all the healing that you've been doing, seeing it now from that perspective is like, wow, it doesn't hit me as hard. I see it more from an observer's state rather than feeling that tunnel vision of being right in it, and not being able to see clearly any other way of perceiving it. So I do see that for us this week is that coming full circle. Now, how do we approach the situation? And the whole point of this is not to test us, like to be like, "Ooh, are you going to pass the test?" But more for you to see, for your own growth, for your own healing. Because sometimes we look for these signs. We want something to tell us that we're doing a good job or that we're on the right path. And that's this thing that's coming up for us, is for us to see for ourselves. So nobody's telling you, hey, so and so, you're on the right path, you're doing a great job. But more, I could see this for myself. Man, I am doing a great job. I have grown. And for many of us, that means way more than a third party person telling us this. So for many, we got to see it for ourselves. And that's exactly what we're going to see. So I look forward to this week. I'm pretty excited about that. I wonder what would be coming back around. What comes around goes around. Let's see here. All right, let me go back to the chat. Let me go back here. Oh, soup beer. All right, yeah, we'll finish up the weekly reading, and then I will pull a card for you, sharing some information for the crypto name Scotty AI. Definitely will. Magic Universe says, nope, just sport a lot and ADHD. I did a whole lot of sports as well. Silver Star says, oh my gosh, yes, after that long winter and all the rain, I'm so enjoying that sun on my skin. My legs got pretty white too. I had to laugh. Lily says, wow, shake the floorboards, so much power. Lily says, by the way, love your hat, pretty snazzy, shank you. And Patrick says, yep, it already happening. I see a lot of people show up from long ago. It's interactions are different. Susie says, I noticed my eyesight is better. Sun healed any damage from older age. Yes. Lily's like, it's already started. Kathy said, yes, self-acknowledgement is very important to oneself. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Let's fill in any other areas that we need to know about this upcoming week, and then we will pull a card for our buddy Supir. Russ says, only 10 people hit the like button. I'm calling the police. Nice. You're very welcome, Supir. Okay. Let's pull a few cards for this upcoming week here. Ooh, we have Antarctic pearlwort with purity. We have Rafflesia with consciousness. And then we have Frangipani with freedom, which is just like the backs of the cards. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's dive into these beautiful floral buddies and see what they're trying to tell us for this upcoming week. Um, okay, so let's dive in. Mm, okay, all right. So the higher self is talking about, I'm talking about like the collective higher self, is talking about how sometimes we can block our healing when we feel like there is something that is just too difficult to work with right now. And not that it's something that just happened, but this could be a trauma or a shadow from years and years ago, or even something that happened to us when we were little kids. And every time, perhaps, some of us may try to dive into the shadow, it may feel too intense. We feel it too much as if it was still happening right now. So all the feelings are there, all the, emotiveness, the sometimes even the logic gets stuck there because of the overwhelming feeling of that particular trauma or incident. And so this is a reminder that for this week, mm, for some of you, not everybody, but that coming full circle, that situation coming around again, for some of you, that is the theme or alluding to the trauma that has been most difficult to work with. So the thing that has been the most difficult for you to look into, for you to dive into, because you may say, well, it's too painful, it's too difficult. But what your higher self is trying to show you is to step back, because yes, it can be almost impossible to heal anything when we still feel as though it just happened, like it just happened 5 minutes ago, because we go right into it with our consciousness in the consciousness of that time instead of expanding the consciousness, taking a step back and trying to see all factors of the situation, trying to look at it through the point of view of every person involved. Because oftentimes, especially if the trauma came from somebody that we loved, let's say somebody hurt us and that person is meant to love us, or at least we expect love from this person, but instead they gave us pain, we might then say this person is a malicious person. I just want to cut all cords with this person, and I want to go and do my own healing. But part of that healing is also to acknowledge that person's role in that situation. Why did they do it? What was their perspective? What was their unhealedness that caused that injury onto us? And when we can step back in that way, seeing their life's path, this person's life's path, my life's path, what I was meant to learn at this time, I can send love and forgiveness to those souls so that I can fully release myself from that energy. There's no need to currently experience it right now in this moment. And so that's the reminder for some of you guys for this week, is that if some of these traumas come back around again this week, this is for your healing. It's for your benefit. It's not to scare you. It's not to punish you. It's not meant to make you feel bad about yourself, but quite the opposite. It's meant to elevate you so that you can see that now that I'm older and wiser, and I have been working on my healing in so many ways, all these skills that I didn't have when I was much younger, now I can apply them to right now. And I can do some mega healing right now. And I can take a look at it from that step back perspective. So maybe, when people were talking about breath work earlier today, perhaps working on some of that breath work would be really good in working through that particular situation, if it is indeed a big shadow or trauma that comes back around for you this week. So I see a lot of good things happening for us for this upcoming week. Again, like I said, I don't see any of it as bad, but more so that as we go further into late spring and pretty soon early summer, um, that we do a little spring cleaning of our own, I guess, little internal spring cleaning. a little look around, a little healing here, a little healing there. So, alrighty. Okay, I want to grab this deck. So we could pull a card for our friend Sukbir, who is patiently waiting. I thank you, thank you. Let's see. And Sukbir had asked everybody, have you ever astral traveled? If yes, what was your experience? I do feel that many of us astral travel during our sleeping state. And oftentimes when I'm doing meditation, I'm astral traveling during that time. Sometimes if I've had a little bit too much, I astral travel without trying to astral travel. I just kind of like jump out. I'm like, wait, come back. I'm still conscious, you know. But yeah, I've always found it to be a wonderful experience because I mean, all I ever want to do is fly, and that's all I get to do when I astral travel. Is like to fly here, fly there, you know, connect to here, connect to there, meet so many wonderful entities, and yeah, I just love the I don't know, the astral world to me is like a big playground. So many things to meet and see, and so many ways to grow. John says, are things coming around again a sign that you're seeing things in a flat perspective, being stuck when time really moves in a spiral? Um, uh, I would say this is more of a spiral nature when I think of that like Fibonacci sequence. It's almost like working on the situation from two different points of time, but knowing that we're also jumping timelines all the time, this could be experiencing that situation again in a different time, in a different timeline from this altered perspective, this new perspective that you have. So for me, it's like it's not so much linear time where this thing happened and then something very similar like it is happening again, but more I see it as that Fibonacci, that just forever infinite spiral up and spiral down of timelines just layering on one on top of the other, so that what happened in the past is also happening in the present at that exact moment. So when we say coming back around again, for me, just my point of view, the way my higher self shows me is that when that situation's coming back around, that's because that situation is happening right now in the past, or what we might consider the past, but really just also a reflection to show us that everything is at once. Everything's always happening at once. That's why it's sometimes we see, you know, at least from my point of view, synchronicities and the repeating numbers and things that do feel like similar situations coming back around. And that's because for me, everything is just in this spiral. Everything is all at once. That's why the world seems so synchronistic. It's because we're literally layered on top of ourselves, I think. So I don't know. That's just my point of view. Katia says, I astro traveled once and I did exactly what I was trained not to do and freaked out when I realized it didn't get very far. Susie says, John, if you're asking me, I just see brighter and clearer, youthful eyes. And she says, I think I would freak out too, Karen. Silver Star says, quantum entanglement, even though they seem separate, they still work together. It's just seeing from a different vantage point. Yeah, John says, I see she feels this. Yes. All right. So our buddy Sukbir, I have my Dream Keepers tarot. Let's go ahead and pull a card for you. You were looking for some information for, I believe it was Scotty AI. Let me see here. Information for the crypto name Scotty AI. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's dive in. So, any crypto info for Scotty AI for your best and highest good, the best and highest good of the person behind this screen name. Best and highest good, best and highest good. All right, so we have the Six of Cups. Let's dive into this one. This is interesting. I'm trying to tap into the energy of the of of crypto itself. That's interesting. It's um like something having a life but without having a soul attached to it. That's kind of how, to me, banks and like crypto, like money work. It's like something almost organic that has a life of its own but without soul. It's very interesting. Okay, so there's a song that popped in my head. That's kind of how I get some of my intuitive hits, is through song lyrics and movies. And so it's a song from the 80s, and I forget the name of it, but it's money, it's gas. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Do, do, do. Mhm. Okay, going in a little deeper. Okay, so in the world of crypto, on the timeline that you are currently on, because we're all kind of on different timelines. So, in the timeline that you are currently on, for your best and highest good, what your higher self wanted you to know is that, as far as how crypto is moving at the moment, that there's going to be what feels like a, I don't know, like a similar trend to right after the almost the market crash of 2009, I believe it was, here in the States. Um, but anyway, we had a down market in '09, and it's just showing that after that, the way things kind of like picked up after a period of not much movement and just kind of the same old, it seemed like the economy picked right up again. It took a little while, but it did start to pick up. And when it did, it was rather vigorous. And it seems like for crypto right now, that's kind of where it's headed, where there might be like some of the movement up and down, as some volatile um, money systems are, but just kind of like this fluctuation right now, but then it going back into almost like a um, lucrative, very lucrative and abundant period, and then quickly dropping back down afterwards, but to go back into this state of flux. So, not to be too scared or worried, I guess, for those, my friends, all of you guys that are using crypto right now. Um, but I'm seeing like this spike and then right afterwards like a drop, but not that it's going to drop forever, because nothing is really forever anyway. So it's not a drop forever, and it's not that it won't pull itself back up again. Just know that that spike is going to be there. It's going to be a sharp rise with a sharp fall. um, so for those of you that are looking to, sell some of your crypto, around that sharp spike probably be good. They say sell high, buy low. And then those of you that are looking to invest more, probably right after that deep spike downwards. So that's just what I'm seeing, in terms of like the next month moving forward. I mean, as we get closer to like the end of May, really. So from now until the end of May, just kind of like riding this little wave right here, and then boom, it seems like it keeps climbing, and then at that point, I would say utilize your own intuition of like, do I want to continue riding this train? Do I want to sell now? Do I want to like you decide at that point. That's your free will. But that's just kind of how I feel in this particular timeline, how it's moving at the moment. So it's going to be very good for buying and selling within the next month, just due to that sharpness. And I know that in other areas, like in precious metals, gold has been at its all-time high. It keeps breaking its own record like over and over again. So um, yeah, everybody just keep utilizing the intuition, what you feel like doing with that information. Travel when I was young, I loved to fly, and I was always end up high in the trees and gliding from tree to tree. I also used to go to my friend's house, but I lost it. I'm working on it. Silver Star says exactly right what I was channeling to there, layered. Okay, so Peg says it's Pink Floyd. Russ says crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or digital currency like XRP or XLM. I was feeling it more with like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Susie says, be careful, February 2025, not financial advice. Yes. Okay, so Lily, let's pull a card for you. She says, what is the best way to get my gifts back? Will I make it before I transition permanently? All righty. Okay, so let's take a look ski. Yeah, the internet got a little wonky there, but we'll be back. All right. Let's tap into Lily's energy. Okay, Lily, I don't know why I started hearing the calypso music from The Little Mermaid. Under the sea, under the sea. Down here it's wetter, down here it's better. Take it from me. All right, so Lily, let's look at your gifts. All right, we have the Knight of Wands. Lily says, I love reggae music. Well, there we go. Okay, so let's tap into this. Okay, so your higher self is like your gifts never left you, but they have shifted. So just as you've been shifting and your energy's been shifting, you may not experience your intuition the same way that you did before. So, because you haven't experienced it in that way, it would be easy to assume that you had lost your gifts, in which you hadn't. They just changed shape, I guess. So, what your higher self is showing me is that it's becoming more like claircognizance, where you just know something to be true. And because oftentimes we're just using our mind, we use our mind every day for, paying bills and for grocery shopping and things like that. That sometimes when an idea pops in there that's actually an intuitive idea, you might be taking it as your brain came up with that when really it's been your intuition. So your higher self is saying that that's just one of many ways that you're accessing your intuition at this time. But next time you're in meditation, to really try to solidify the voice of your ego versus higher self, so it'll be easy to discern that when you're just out and about, you just kind of like know you need to call somebody, or I know I need to go do this or this. Like the difference between it just being an ego thought of like, oh shoot, I got to do something on my to-do list, and you know I wait, this is more of an intuitive thought, like I should go do this. So um and it's saying that because of your energy being not one of patience, which I understand because I have a lack of patience myself. um, but when things, the way you try to access your intuition, if it doesn't come immediately in the way that you think it should be coming, then you get frustrated and feel like it's gone, I'm not accessing it. And it says when in fact it is coming very fast, it's coming through that claircognizance, it's very quick. But you're also doing it as um, was it clairsentience, I guess, where you're feeling into it. So where you walk into a room and you could just kind of feel the vibe of the room, or you feel the vibe of a person. But again, it's easy to confuse with the ego, because you may say this is what I'm thinking about the person, or this is what I'm thinking about the vibe in the room, when really that's your intuition speaking. So this is just a reminder that you still full throttle have all of your intuition, and it's working quick and it's working fast, fast and quick. But you still have it. It's still there. It's just different than you're used to. And right now you're just confusing it with the voice of your ego. So it's kind of matched up in there, all mixed up in there. So just best thing moving forward is just in meditation, when you're talking to the higher self, really listen to its voice, which is your voice, your own internal voice. How does it speak differently to me than when I'm just thinking about myself, like through ego? How does it speak to me differently? Because oftentimes, at least the way I usually know that my ego is speaking to me over my intuition, because sometimes it can get pretty tricky, uh, which is why I have all my filtering systems that I do. Is I ask myself, is this bringing me fear, worry, anxiety, or is this thought or these words taking my power away in any way? And if it is, then I know for sure 100% it's my ego. If it's telling me that I need to do something outside of myself, or that it's putting me in a state of worry, anxiety, that's not my higher self. That's my ego. My higher self would give me solutions. My higher self tells me how to take my power back, so that I can um, move forward with the situation. Oh, looks like our our neighbor is showing up. Um, okay, so let's go back here. Russ says, haha, Under the Sea. I've been singing the song on stage for 35 years. Lily says, I miss my dreams. Oh, that's another thing. So, Lily, about the dream states, a download that I got, and this could be for a lot of you guys, but lately too. A lot of people are not remembering their dreams, and they haven't been remembering their dreams for some time. And the reason being is that it's like stuff that needs to be worked on in the astral. And hello. Oh, nice. Ah, well, James should be coming up from the lower range soon. I'm just doing a live chat right now. Oh, no, James should be up in a moment. Um, yeah, yeah, he'll be up in a moment. Okay, so, um, hold on, let me just go back here. Oh yeah, so the dream state. So a lot of people aren't remembering it at the moment just because it's stuff that is meant to be worked on in the astral, and it's not really something that we can work on here in the 3D. So it's just our neighbor meeting up with James. So um but if it was something that we could also work in 3D, like during meditation, as well as during our dream state, then those dreams usually are the ones that we can remember most intensely. So don't feel bad if you're not remembering them at the moment. It's just you must be doing a lot of work in the astral that doesn't necessarily need to get done here. So more like you're doing the stuff here that you need to work on. So working on some stuff that maybe you can't work on the astral there, but working on the other astral stuff that you can't really work on 3D here. So all right, let's go back here. John says, it's like I used to have tabs open on a browser and I could just click the tab, but now I have to open a folder. That says, this has been my experience. I can't get to the previous abilities by chasing my old patterns to activate them. They're there, but I'm not the person I was before I switched it off and back on again. And then Susie says, Spider Lily just dropped down next to me. Outside message is you are connecting to grandmother Spider. Silver Star said, too funny. I've been singing the other one. I don't remember the name, but Sebastian is singing, You Gotta Kiss the Girl. La, 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 la. This was my favorite growing up. Susie said, lightning bolt through the window in my dream last week. Patrick says, I dream so much, OMG, and remember them all. It's fun. Love it. Tell me a lot. Russ says, each little slug here, cutting a rug here under the sea. Each little snail here, know how to whale here. That's why it's hotter under the water. You were in luck here, down in the muck here, under the sea. Nice. All right. Okay, so let's get to our gardening, guys. I'm super excited about this. Let me put my deck away. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's maybe we'll put the camera down a little bit so you guys can see what I'm working with here. Okay, so I have a few pieces of recycled materials that I'm going to use to plant my seeds today for Earth Day tomorrow. And plus, yesterday actually felt like the legit first day of spring here. It was beautiful. It was like barely any fluffy clouds and just so many animals, like literally every animal and insect and lizard seemed to come out yesterday. But anyway, I'm going to use this egg carton here. And what I want to do first is actually light my candle because I'm going to heat up a knife so I can cut holes at the bottom of that. And it's a little windy here, but hopefully my flame doesn't burn out. Oh man, it's like too windy. Okay, come on. You can do it. You can light. I believe in you. Okay, so I'm going to take my little knife here and we're going to heat this knife up. If my flame will stop going out, good lordy. And this wind swirls, so you can't really get out of the wind. It's kind of crazy. Okay, hold on. You know what? Maybe I'll just be able to puncture a hole through the bottom anyway. Okay. All right, we're just gonna puncture the bottom as is. It's all right. Maybe I'll use one of the sharper knives like I have right here. Okay, here we go. There we go. And a nice little hole there. And hole here. Because we want some nice drainage so that our seeds don't get moldy. Okay. Oops, this little guy, his little station has been, there we go. All right, I'll just pop him back out. All right, just a few more. And I'll show you which seeds I'm going to be utilizing for this. Some people like to use seed soil. For many folks, including my mom, they just used potting soil. Actually, it has a lot more nutrients than seed starting soil. Okay, so I want to actually take this lid off just because, you know, I'll show you how we'll end up using it. Okay, so, whoa. Before the seeds start to germinate, I'll leave the lid on just to kind of create like a little greenhouse effect. And you won't really need to water it yet. I'll get the soil nice and moist for the seeds. Just leave this on until they start to germinate, which will be probably in like a couple of days or so. And then afterwards, I'm going to take this lid and turn it upside down, and we're going to do bottom watering. So filling this with water. And now that we have holes underneath here, that way it'll just keep the roots and the soil nice and moist. And we'll keep them indoors until they're, I think they said till about maybe like their second leaf that they sprout. Then I got to move them to something bigger because obviously these are pretty shallow. But if you're going to use egg carton, like the plastic egg carton, you can utilize this. Also, what I was thinking of doing, not sure if it's gonna work, but I was gonna use this as a pot, but maybe I'll cut this in half with our scissors there and use this as like a bottom tray for my toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls. So I'm gonna cut these so that way they sit inside here just like this. So I could put multiple ones in there. So that way this stays nice and moist, as I put the soil in here, and then, our little seeds can germinate. I could put the lid on, heat it up if I want. Anyway, so we'll start that. Let's go ahead and get dirty. I'm going to show you the seeds that we're working with, and that's the seeds that work with the zone that we're in up here. I go back to what you guys were saying. Lily says, I was listening. Hands were occupied. Thank you, Tara. Very helpful. You're very welcome. Peg said, I had grapes, strawberries, and tomato seedlings growing on a windowsill and ready for transplanting. The cats ate them. Oh no! This is lucky for them. I don't hold a grudge. Plus, don't know which one it was. Nice. Yeah, I can never hold a grudge against little kitty cats or any animal, really. Okay, so we have some Tokyo long white onions. So we'll do that. I'm pretty sure with onions, I'm meant to like direct sow those, but or direct plant, because it might be hard to transplant onions, but we're gonna give it a go. All right, then I have some cocoselle zucchini squash, so some summer squash. I also have crookneck summer squash, so getting ready for all the summertime stuff. Also, something else that does well in warm weather and sometimes in cool weather is rosemary. So we're going to do a little bit of rosemary. And then I have some wildflowers here, as this is called Pancellia tanacetifolia. There we go. And actually, it's one of my people that I read for. She sent me this in the mail knowing I love seeds. So that'll be funsies. For now, I'm just going to moisten the soil with this water bottle. We got our trowel. We have our scissors. Let's get to it. So let's put those under there. I'm going to cut this up now. Might as well. Maybe I need to start with my balisong. My balisong is way sharper. Okay, so I want to do it just like this. Let's see if we can puncture this plastic. Okay. We'll see how easily that cuts. Hey Dana, how's it going, Chiquita? Okay, now we're gonna stick the scissors in. Come on now. You gotta work with me. Maybe I should have asked James to cut this with his sword. Would have been better. So we're just cutting along. You're almost there. One side at a time. Okay. Come on, don't be difficult with me. And I like to reduce, reuse, recycle, so I don't really like to go spend much money on other things. Not if we got the parts here. Okay. Okay, we're almost there, you guys. Come on, just fall off already. Wake up, be difficult. Nice. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So then we have a little bottom just like this, and we're gonna put our little seedling things in like that, except I want to cut these TP rolls in half. So they're actually gonna be a lot smaller. So I will show you that in just a moment. Okay, so they're coming along nicely. They look just like this. Maybe I should get them all the same height. Perhaps that would be easier. Yes, yes, perhaps, perhaps. Okay. All right, that works. So they're all gonna look just like that. Okay, let me cut another one. So that would be about that tall. Excellent. All right. And I think we can fit in one more little seedling, I think. Some of these TP rolls got a little squished, but that's okay. Okay. There we go. Got our other guy, and we're gonna squish him in right there. So 2, 4, that'll give us like 6 seedlings. It's not bad. Plus, you know, we'll have this little tray here at the bottom to give them bottom watering. So excellent. I love how that came out. That's actually, wow, good job me. And then, you know, whenever we need to, we can just put the lead on, like let them sweat a little bit if we'd like. Okay, so now we're gonna put on our little gardening gloves. And I'm gonna move some of this stuff over here. Okay, move the scissors over. And move some of our extra rolls over. Alrighty. Okay, and we have the seeds. Let's try to move this over here so that actually I can reach better. Okay, there, that's better. I think that's a better view for you guys too. Alrighty, so I am going to pack some soil into our little guys here. I'm gonna wet up this soil actually too. So little guys are gonna have some soil here. And I will wet up this soil. Okay, go into the little things. Okay, just adding the soil. Okay, a little bit more soil. Okay, I have this little butt end of this screwdriver because we want to tamp down the soil actually just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to add some more soil over here. All right, tamper down. Not too much. We don't want like compacted, but just a little bit. Just keep adding soil, keep adding soil. Okay. let's see how we are on the soil market. Good, good, good. Excellent. Okay, so now we are going to do our little egg cartons. Let's soil these guys up too. And if you're wondering what soil I'm using the Grow Well Premium Quality Raised Garden Potting Mix soil. And our friends at Christopher's Nursery love this soil for pretty. Okay, so sorry, the live chat keeps looking like it's keeps dropping out. Ready for seeds. All right, I'm so excited. So what you guys might like to do, something that might be kind of witchy, is to like write your intentions for what you would like to have blossom in the coming months. And then burn those intentions, turn them to ash, and then mix the ash in with the soil. I think that that's something fun I like to do for like magical gardening and things like that. You can also just, put your magical intentions, write them down. You can just literally put the pieces of paper into the soil. That's something you can do as well. So I'm just getting this soil to reactivate a little bit. And stuff soaks down pretty easily and pretty quickly here. So there's no seeds in here yet, so I'm not drowning anything yet. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put that down. Let's move our little trowel and we'll take a look at our seeds. Let's start with the wildflowers. Okay. And we're going to use our little tool here, our little Phillips screwdriver, to actually push in our little seeds. So some people have a very special tool for that. I have a tool. It just may not be the tool that was specifically designed for this activity, but there you go. Okay, let me take my gloves off. And let's do a little bit more water where the soil is still a little dry in parts. Remember, we want this soil nice and moist and ready for our little guys. Okay. So I have my little seed packet here. And I have gotten myself so full of soil. Nice. All right. So, oh, did I already use all those? Oh my gosh, I did. I already used all my wildflower seeds. Well, that's a bummer. Why did I keep that then? Psst. All right. I want to do rosemary then. And I'm probably going to do maybe like 2 or 3 seeds per little thingy. I'm not going to fill the whole tray, obviously, because it's going to be a mix of things. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 other things that I want to put in. So we'll dedicate, let's see, there's 12 here, or 18. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the rosemary first. We'll put the rosemary in these 3 little trays here. So I'm going to use my fingernail actually to get the individual seeds out. So I'm going to put a few in my palm. Well, that's not exactly a few, but you get the gist. Try not to have them blow away. So here we go. Here's 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm going to use this little guy to push them down. There we go. And we just push these seeds right on down. Okay, and now I am going to put these seeds back in their packet so I don't lose them. All right, where's my packet? Here it is. Yeah, now we have just like a meditative day, planting seeds. Just trying to get the seeds back into their packet can be a little difficult. Okay, there's another little seed. All righty. Okay, so we got the rosemary seeds. Let's start on the onions. All right, so onion seeds, let's put a few into my hand here. I'm going to try to do like one onion seed per little thing here. Okay, again, I'm going to, whoops. Okay, hold on just a second. As the wind absconded with my other seeds. Hold on, I will. There they are. You silly wind. I need those. I need to eat. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put these guys back in their seed packet because we don't need them right now. Okay. And now back you go. Here. Okay. And we're gonna push these down into the soil, just like we did the other seeds. So down into the soil you go. Down into the soil you go. There we go. And just putting my magical little intentions, things that I want to see grow, come to fruition as our year progresses. Okay, then I want to do some spinach, some Bloomsdale spinach, long-standing Bloomsdale spinach. And put some of those seeds into my hands. I actually want to do 2 rows of spinach because I eat a lot of spinach. So, all right, so these ones, the seeds are a lot bigger. You can see here. So I'm just gonna put one down in there, one there, one here. Okay, so let's push these down like so. Down you go. Down you go into the soil. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna do another row of seeds because like I said, I eat a lot of spinach. And I guess today is just a meditative live chat in the garden. So this is great for people who just need something chillaxed to focus on today. Okay, Let's put these guys back in their packet as the wind kicks up. All right, back in your magical seed packet you go. All right, put that off to the side. All right, so now we're on to the squash. And right now we have some zucchini. And you can see these have way bigger seeds. So, okay. We're gonna stick these bad boys down into the soil. And down you go. I'm gonna do 2 rows of the zucchini because zucchini. That's something we eat a lot of around here. Okay, we like to do grilled zucchini, fried zucchini, zucchini stews, zucchini bread, zucchini cupcakes. Sometimes use it to soften things. Okay, just pushing these little seeds down into these little pots. Okay. Well, that'll do her. Okay, we'll do another little spray skis. Okay, we're good with that. We're gonna put our lid onto this first tray. Just to protect it from the wind. There we go. So we have seedling tray number 1. I have my marker around here. Okay, so let's see. What did I put in? We put in rosemary. So I'm just going to write that rosemary is these 3 rows here. Okay, then we did 2 rows of the onions. So we'll do onions are here and here. Okay, after onions, we did the zucchini. So oh wait, we did 2 layers of rosemary, 2 layers of the onions, and then 2 layers of the zucchini. Okay, there we go. Rosemary, onions, zucchini. That's all written out for us. All right, the last thing that we wanted to do was actually this thing right here. We were going to fill in our little toilet paper rolls. So cute. Okay. And for that, I wanted to do the summer squash. Okay. And summer squash have seeds that look just like this. And this is the crookneck squash. So we're just going to put one of these guys in each of these. And this will be my summer squash tray. Or I mean, at least the crookneck squash. So just put them there. I'm going to shove them down in just a moment. It's been nice and warm too, so it'll be great for quicker germination. All right, let's push you guys down. Down, down, down you go. Downtown like James Brown, I tell you. Put this guy down. This guy goes down. And lastly, this guy goes down. Okay. All right. They're down about as deep as they should go. Not too deep. And everything's nice and packed. All right. There we go. So let me mark these. So this one is the crookneck. So let's write that on here. Crookneck. All right, crookneck. All right, there we go. Those are our little goodies. So we got these guys all ready to go. They're going to do great in the sunshine, as well as this guy. But of course, I could always put this on top to give them a little bit more protection. But we're going to do them kind of indoors, obviously, at the moment. Yeah. So there we go. Excellent. All right. So thank you for guided meditation coming up next. But yay, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna have to get the soil off of me. But yeah, let's see what you guys are talking about. Oh, you guys have all been having good chit chats. Susie says you could put your spit on each seed and the seeds bonds with your DNA. That's a good idea. She says, right when Sun was squared by Pluto exactly, I have an app. It froze. Russ says, hey, it's Queen Lizzie's birthday today. Also, Catherine the Great. She would have been 295 years old today had she had taken better care of herself. Is that all? She is in her prime. Susie said, George thought a rotten onion in our yard. Now it's the best producing onion. Wow. Russ says, hello, KDS. These days of you search famous birthdays, you get a bunch of TikTok stars. Ugh. Russ says, George is the onion head. Grr. Well, now you got a forever blooming onion. All right, let's do our channeled guided meditation. Let's see what we actually need to do our meditation on. Let's ask the giant Rider-Waite Smith. Oh, hey, Miss Squirrel. Where are you going? All right. Miss Squirrel was in a hurry. She must have been hearing all the dogs over there. Okay, so we have our giant cards here. Susie says, nature finds a way. Yes. All right, so let's see what our channel guided meditation can be on today. I love these cards. They're so huge. Silver Star says, form of protection. Just eat and breathe. Yep. Okay. Oh, all right. So let me put these back in here so they don't fly away. All right. John says Jurassic Park. Yep. Life, nature finds a way. Okay, we have the Six of Wands here. So let's tap into this one, what our channeled guided meditation will be about. A celebration of self, I'm feeling. And yeah, okay, I got some stuff coming in. Let's do this. So this is a celebration of self, guided meditation, channeled guided meditation. Finding all the beauty that lies within you, all the knowledge, all the power. Let's do that. So I am going to move actually and give you guys a better scene than my mug. So move this over here. I'm going to have a little drink of water. Okay. Let's change this up. All right. Sorry, I'm fixing up the view a little bit. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Sorry. Just looking through. Okay. So, all right. Get yourselves into a nice, comfortable space. You could be outdoors, indoors, laying down, sitting in a chair. You could be leaning up against a tree. Any place that's comfortable for you. And when you are ready, go ahead and bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. The breath moving in and out, in and out. If you need to, go ahead and place a hand over your chest so you can feel this gentle rise and fall. Something so easy, so subconscious can power such a fabulous machine known as your vessel. And as you continue breathing, I want to imagine the breath as a beautiful golden light. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine this light moving to all areas of your body, down the head and neck, down the shoulders, the arms, chest, torso, thighs, calves, toes, filling you with that beautiful golden light. And as you exhale, exhaling fully till there isn't any more air in the tank, imagining a beautiful silver light escaping you, putting this beautiful silvery light back out into nature. Continue breathing in gold, breathing out silver. Continue breathing. And now I want you to imagine a place that you feel most safe. This could be a favorite bedroom growing up. This could be your favorite spot by the creek. Perhaps a favorite part of your yard. Or maybe a place that you visited a long time ago with friends or family. But continue to try to bring this scene back to life. Try to remember it in as much detail as possible. The colors, the smells, the sounds. And once you have done that, created your very special place where you feel most safe, I want you to imagine yourself standing before you, almost an exact replica. The person that you are today standing before you. I want you to look at yourself in as much detail as possible. And I want you to be a witness to the thoughts that come to mind when you see yourself, the words. If any of these words or thoughts are self-critical, analyzing, saying this should be more like this, I wish I didn't have this, be reminded that we're not here to celebrate the wants of the ego. Yes, of course, the ego may wish us to look like something out of a magazine, but we know even that is either photoshopped or AI these days. You, however, are a real person, a real living, breathing human being with strengths and weaknesses like any other human being, with wants and desires, dreams and aspirations, wanting to feel a sense of community, wanting to feel love for self, analyzing our missions and our journeys. You are one, a part of a whole, a beautiful whole. And when all humans come together, what beauty there is. Not only the beauty in which we see with our eyes, but that we can feel with our intuition. The strengths and the weaknesses of the whole. The sovereignty of the whole. The power of the whole. Differing ideas and perspectives. Differing timelines standing side by side, willing to help one another. And this you see in the person standing before you, which is you. And now I would like your higher self to speak to the person standing right before you. And I want you to allow your higher self to sing the praises of this wonderful human. Allow the higher self to tell you how strong you are, gorgeous, magical, healing, one who brings people together. Maybe your magic is in your creations, or your way with words, or how you paint with color. Perhaps your magic is being able to sense the energy of a room when you walk in. Perhaps you connect to animals or small children in a way that might be difficult for others. But I want you to allow yourself, your higher self, to point out all of your strengths, but as well as your weaknesses, because we have to see ourselves as a whole. We have to know what those weaknesses are so that we may turn them into a strength. We need to know what our strengths are so that we can strengthen them even further and find creative ways to utilize those strengths. So continue singing your praises while also gaining clarity on things that you could improve. Perhaps widening a perspective, perhaps a shadow to work on. But this is all wonderful because now we know. They no longer live in obscurity or hidden in the shadows, but brought to the light so they can be healed. I want you to thank yourself for joining you here. Don't forget to show them a big smile. Give yourself a hug. And remind this person how much you love them unconditionally. that your love extends beyond the physical vessel. There's no expectation. You don't need to get an A on the exam. You don't need to have a certain amount of money in your bank account or a particular type of possession, that you are loved just as you are. And therefore, you love yourself just as much as you would love all other human beings. When you feel ready, come back to your body. Go ahead and start to breathe in nice and deep. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, go ahead and stretch and open your eyes. Yay! Oh my goodness. Here we are again. Thank you guys for joining me in today's live chat and hanging out in the forest and planting some wonderful seeds with us. That was actually a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how they germinate and everything. So I'll make sure that I post a picture of their little journey on the Instagrams. John said, love. I love you guys. Thank you for coming out today. And I hope that you have a fabulous week, a fabulous rest of your Sunday, and catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.